Hey friends, so welcome to my channel. This is Adrian with My Dream of Simple Living, and I'm super excited to have you guys here today. So I wanted to just chat with you all. I know a lot of this video will be commentary and or voiceover, and we'll also just kind of show you snap pictures and videos of my garden and where it is now. But I did that for a reason because I'd actually done a lot of the audio while outside, but the wind kind of took over, and so I figured this was just a better way of me doing the audio so that the wind wouldn't be so loud. So I wanted to just kind of share this progress with you guys. For a long time, I've really had it on my heart to switch over this YouTube channel, and it took me quite some time because um, honestly, just out of fear. When you have done one particular thing for so long and then you go and you try something different, you're just kind of afraid of how it's going to be received and if it's going to be received. And there's that thing called the algorithm that most creators always kind of go by, and you just kind of get fearful of what's going to happen. But where I am today in my life is that I trust God. I cannot trust an algorithm. It changes too often. I cannot trust, or worry about day by day, because I know who holds my future and who ultimately has the final say so. And so with this, I've really felt led for some time to do this and to share with you our journey into simple living and sustainability, and just, doing all the things that we can to um, heal our family, not just, from emotional or anything like that, but from the inside out, and just, creating a space where we can grow the foods that we, number one, know where our food is coming from, and that we can preserve for, however long it will stay good. And yeah. So I'm kind of showing you guys right now our garden and the state of it right now. I know that it looks like things are all over the place, and you're absolutely right in your thinking. We, after every garden season, kind of tear things down. We go back and we look to see what can be changed, where things worked best, where they didn't work best, and if we need to do any type of structure changes. That is what we're looking at right now. So as you can see right now, most of our garden beds have the landscape fabric on top. Guys, we battled with weeds so incredibly bad. If you look at that garden bed in the far right of the frame, you'll see how weeded that bed was. Imagine all of these beds looking like that. So it took us some time to really get down deep and weed as much as we could. We did go back and we put some garden straw on top. But in thinking about it and kind of talking to some other seasoned gardeners in our area, and then, just watching one of my favorite channels here on YouTube, which is Becky over at Acre Homestead, we thought that we would give this landscape fabric a try. I actually had this landscape fabric already, and so I thought I'd try it and just kind of see how it works out. Doesn't look great right now. Aesthetically, it's just like, don't know if I like that. But I do believe it's going to help to kind of keep the weed pressure down. And so we'll see. As you can see, we still have our chicken coop up. If you probably don't know, but we actually got chickens at the beginning of the year. And we actually got rescue hens, hens that had actually been on a laying farm all of their life. And so we had some challenges with that. And eventually we needed to go ahead and, get rid of our chickens. We did not feel comfortable with ending their lives. And so we actually have a neighbor that has a little bit more of a bigger property that's right around the corner from us, and that already had chickens and livestock. And so he was more than happy to take them in, and he still provides us eggs from, our chickens, their chickens. And so we still get farm fresh eggs, which I'm super excited about, because that's the part that we loved. But we know that, they are better off where they are. And so What the reason that the front of our gate was wide open at this point is because we actually had someone coming to pick up our chicken coop. Now, we actually built this chicken coop by hand. And so we did not want to just tear it down. We wanted it to go to someone that could really use it. And so we're really excited about the lady that was able to get this. She's already sent me a text and said, I just want you to know that this is going to be such a blessing for our chickens, and we're super excited. So I'm glad about that. Um, but anyway, we are working on one of the things we did on our old property, and I will pop some pictures in here. One of the things that we did on our old property is that we actually took a couple of years to really build up our garden. Um, we wanted to take the time to really do it right, but we also wanted to do it, the most cost effective way. And, for us, we are not the richest of people. And so all of our garden projects and different things like that have to kind of go in increments. Right now, we're looking at my beautiful dog. This is my garden buddy, and he's really enjoying having the fence open to where he can go in and out, which during garden season, that's a no. But I'm going to go ahead and pop those pictures in here just so that you can see our garden, where it started, and kind of how it progressed. All right, so again, this is our backyard garden in our old backyard. And, again, you can see how it started in 2021. And then we expanded it, and then we started to build our forever fence. And that is kind of the plan for what we are going to do here in this garden. We know what we want our fence to be eventually, but again, it's going to take some time with that. And we just prefer to get the materials as we go and then kind of build that way. So another thing that we are really trying to determine is whether or not we're going to continue with the wooden beds. So yes, it's much more economical this way. Trust me, it is. However, this is our we're going into our third garden year. With these beds, and we did go the cheaper route. We just, ended up getting fence panels. But as you can see, those fence panels are starting to really wear down. So I don't know how many more years we'll even be able to get out of these garden beds. So yes, we can go and we can build more garden beds, out of more wood, a better wood, better quality wood. But then it's just like, do we want to go through that, or do we just want to go ahead and get the metal beds because we actually really, really like the look of the metal beds? And so that's kind of where we are. And it may just be one of those things where each year we add 3 or 4 metal beds and we just keep going that way. I've actually found some metal beds on Amazon that are really cost effective, and I actually wouldn't mind having those. They are smaller. But more to come on that. That will take quite a bit of time because, you got to think about switching out the soil, doing all the things. So we're really going to have to plan for that. But again, that is not something that we're doing this garden season. We are just going to go with what we have. So again, over where the chicken coop is at, we had actually tried to use that space initially for like our tomato hedge. However, at the time, our soil was just not worked, and it was not good, and it just was not a good situation. So one of the reasons we put the chickens over there is because we knew that we wanted the chickens to kind of work that soil in, and to really, work on that area. And I'm going to tell you guys, at the end of the season, we actually had about 10 tomato plants that were growing in that chicken, that clean out or that run area that we hadn't even planted. So I know that soil is much better than it was. So we're most likely going to be using that area for our tomatoes. Or, whatever crops we decide to put over there. So we're really just trying to decide again what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. This is the time of the year where I take to plan it, to really lay things out, to get things going. Because again, it's kind of that slow down time. We're really not planting anything right now. I typically have a really big fall garden. And to be honest, for our family, the fall garden is the best time for us. We love the fall garden. We like the summer garden. We want our tomatoes, we want our cucumbers. But to be honest, I don't grow a lot of squash or zucchini because I don't like battling with squash bugs. And in my family, I'm really the only one that will really eat it like often. And so I just don't know that it's worth the headache to even have to deal with it. So, each year I throw a couple of them out there just to see how they're going to work. And, it never really works for me. So I don't have a huge garden where I can, succession sow a million plants of zucchini and squash. So, again, it's one of those things where we'll kind of see how it goes. And if we decide to throw some seeds out there, then that's what we'll do. But again, this is just our garden. This is not, the most beautiful laid out garden, but it is a space to grow for us. One of the things that I'm really working on as well this year is being very particular about what I grow. I'm at that place in my growing journey where, again, we are wanting to really put up food. Tomatoes have not been the best for us. However, this past year we did a lot better than we've normally done. I have still not really grown those big, huge tomatoes. And honestly, the year before, I ended up sourcing out tomatoes to just be able to make about 6 months of tomato sauce for my family. So this upcoming year, we are hoping to be able to put out more tomato plants and to really, I wouldn't say perfect, but really work on our tomato growing, because tomato sauce is definitely something that we use in our house, whether it's for spaghetti, whether it is for pizza sauce, marinara sauce, chili base, whatever it is, we really want to have it on hand. So that's just a couple of things that we're working on. I am really excited about going into the 2024 year. We do have a greenhouse that we're going to be putting up. We haven't really decided where we're going to put that. But yeah, we're, really excited about where the garden is going and how far we have come. So, yeah, even though this looks just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is the most weeded garden ever, I wanted to share with you guys just where we were a couple of weeks ago. Y'all, this literally broke my heart. And I don't know if you guys understand that, or if you don't, but this space was just somewhere that I avoided walking into for weeks. I did not want to go into my garden. I did not want to look at my garden because I just honestly at that point I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if we should hire someone to come and weed it or what. And so I gave myself the time to just sit with it. And that is the best way that I can describe it. And so eventually we, got out there, we did the hard work. We cleaned it up, we got in the beds, we turned that soil, we pulled as much of the weeds and the roots as we possibly could. We noticed that our weeds aren't necessarily coming up from the bottom, but they're coming from the top. You will see we have a bunch of trees behind us. So a lot of our trees are just planting seeds into our garden. And it's really nothing we can do about that. But we had thought about, well, maybe we should just put down the garden straw, which is what we have down. But we realized that probably wouldn't really do much. And so that is why we came to the conclusion to go ahead and put down the landscape fabric. Now, one of our neighbors from our old neighborhood actually suggested that. And then we also, I follow Becky over at Acre Homestead, and, she talked about how much it helped her to not have to do any, much weeding because she did the landscape fabric on top of her garden beds. And so we thought we would give this a try and just kind of see how it works for our garden. This landscape fabric, I will have it linked in my Amazon store. Guys, it's literally just a landscape fabric that I get from Amazon. I know that other people may get some that's a little bit more expensive, but this works for us. We really don't have any issues with it. If we need to upgrade at some point, we will. However, this is what we have for now, and it's working. So all I wanted to say is that I just appreciate you guys being here, and I hope that you will consider subscribing and just going along this journey with us. This is definitely something that I've wanted to journal for quite some time, and to just look at our progress year over year. And I'm not going to allow fear of the algorithm to deter me anymore, because I'm really excited about this. So anyway, I just wanted to share this with you guys, and I am going to put some pictures of our former garden and just kind of how it was when we left it, and then the space that we had, as you can see here. And then I'm going to also show you our garden when we started here on our new property. So thanks guys for being here. I hope you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye friends.